Last month, it was 12.5K. I just learned how to build a business. I really wasn't building any type of serious business. And I feel like I'm actually fulfilled now. Like I couldn't be fulfilled doing it small.
All right, welcome back to the channel. Max Tornow here, and I'm sitting here with our client Chase Gillis, who's helping people overcome stutter as an online coach, and that's a very, very interesting niche. Chase, thanks so much for your time. I appreciate that. How much did you make last month?
Last month, it was 12.5K US.
12.5 thousand US dollars in 1 month as a stutter coach. That's obviously very, very amazing. But to be honest, the money is one thing. The other thing is you're someone who deeply, deeply cares about his clients, and you've overcome this issue for yourself. And then you've basically, I think at least that's how I thought it went. And then you came to us, we helped you monetize it, and now you're passing on your knowledge. And that's obviously very, very fantastic. So where were you with this whole business type of thing before you joined our program? Did you already know what you want to teach?
Yeah, so when I applied for you guys, I definitely already knew like this was a passion of mine. And I tried to do it by myself for like a year, and I was charging like $200 for 8 weeks. And in my mind, I was thinking like this would be an amazing side hustle, and it was just like a far away dream. Like I didn't even think it was achievable to have more than a side hustle, because I'm not a speech therapist. I didn't go to school for this, and I was like, at max, it could be a side hustle. And so when I came to you guys, it was kind of like I knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't know I could make it a full-time thing, but
yeah. And now you're doing it full-time, and you're rocking it. That's really fantastic. Right now you're traveling through South America, or what exactly are you doing?
Yeah, right now I'm staying in Medellin, Colombia, and I think I'm gonna do this for like six months, and then travel back to Canada somewhere, stay somewhere else in Canada for 6 months, maybe Nova Scotia, something.
Wait, so you're going back to Canada when it's getting colder?
I know.
What kind of plan is that? He's straight for the cold, back up to Canada.
It's a horrible idea. But like that's the way it works for like taxes reasons. I have to be 6 months in Canada. And
of course. So you're still tax eligible there. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. The thing that always interests me is like, you've been doing very, very well. You've always kind of been scratching the 10K month mark in our beginner program. Then you got into our advanced program where we help you a little bit more with the branding side of things. You do have a YouTube channel, and you do post content on Instagram nowadays, and you have really, really interesting things on there. I mean, just lately you posted a video about you going through a drive-through and just like stuttering on purpose, because that's usually a very high pressure situation for people who are dealing with stuttering, and I've heard that, where a lot of people say like, wow, it's just so inspiring. It's like really, really cool.
yeah, sweet, man. And that's the thing that's awesome about this, Max, is like I have a stutter, and I'm constantly overcoming my stutter right now. Like it's not like I can just chill out and say like I've overcome my stutter, that's it. I'm constantly putting in work, and it's not like work like in a hard way. It's like work that makes me a better version of myself, and all I have to do is film it and prove to other people it's possible, and they see that it's possible, and then they're like, I want to work with you. So I'm like upgrading my life. At the same time, that's the same way I get clients. And
love it.
Amazing.
And you're honest and authentic in doing it, and that was a big brand lesson that I've experienced myself with my very first business. I also tried to be perfect, and I've fully overcome my problem, with the dating advice and personal development business that I had. And people didn't resonate with it that much. They did resonate with it, but not so much. And then I started really kind of blowing up when I said, hey, I'm not perfect either. Like, I'm still getting better at this. I'm sure ahead of you, I know more than you, but I'm not perfect either at that, and I kind of see that same authenticity in your stuff, and that makes me really happy, and kind of witnessing how you're progressing with that. And of course, you're financing a very comfortable living with 5 figures a month, and that's obviously fantastic. Let's do what we always do. Let's check out your social media, because people think, oh, in order to make 10K a month, you got to have a big social media following. How many followers do you have on your Instagram right now? Let's see. 636. We can show his Instagram in there. We're going to have it edited in there. What about your YouTube channel? How many you got there? Let me see. I think you got it linked. YouTube. 488. That's it. And yet you're making more than most people who have 100,000 followers, and that's obviously very fantastic. So definitely check them out, right? Highly recommend. Kudos for that. You kind of said before, you kind of thought it was a side hustle. You're selling for a couple $100 and so on and so forth. What was your biggest lesson of working together with us?
Biggest lesson working together with you guys. The biggest mindset shift that I had was learning to keep going even when you have a win. And I feel like that would stop me always. Like, I would work hard for an hour, I would feel good, and I would take that feeling of feeling good as a reason why I should chill. And that always stopped me from progressing. That mixed with actually just charging higher prices was groundbreaking, because not only was I able to make a full-time living with this and fulfill my purpose, like nothing means more to me. Like I on a weekend night, what would mean the most to me is working with clients, not going out and doing random. I get to work full time on my purpose right now while charging higher prices, making people take action more, seeing more results. And just, I guess like the biggest thing is I just learned how to build a business. Like I really wasn't building any type of serious business before. It was just something fun.
Yeah.
And now I can change lives, and I feel like I'm actually fulfilled now. Like I couldn't be fulfilled doing it small.
Yeah. That's interesting that you mentioned that. I feel like a lot of people try to artificially keep their businesses small because they lie to themselves that it's safer somehow, or they have less problems with that. But actually the real fulfillment is by going bigger, because you reach more people, you do better for more people, so you have the quality and the quantity, and you get paid more as a side note, that as a side effect for that as well. So I love what you said there, that it's like, just keep pushing, because actually the bigger you make things happen, the more people you help, and actually the more fulfillment you get, compared to, in contrast to keeping yourself small just because deep down inside you're kind of afraid of things. Yeah, so you kind of mentioned fulfillment. What does your day-to-day life look like then? What are you doing in a typical day?
On a typical day, I am waking up, going to the gym, coming back, working with clients for like 1 or 2 hours, grabbing some breakfast, and just if I have any calls, like any consultation calls, any client calls, I'll put in the work then. But my spare time, so it's really like working with clients maybe 2 hours a day. The rest is like forming my way of teaching my clients better. Like that's my main focus. That's what I get to put my energy into. Now that I have a system to generate income, I can put my focus on making this shit better and better. And that's also something that I've learned with you guys, is how to actually formulate a coaching program that is actually impactful and actually gets taken seriously. Before you guys, I was doing my program in like a tank top, swearing 24/7, and just I look like a kid, and I
Mm,
couldn't attract the people who needed my help who were more professional.
yeah, I remember that. I remember the distinct conversation we've had about that. Yeah. Hey, you know how I learned that lesson? Because I used to be that guy, you know, and I'm not a fan of that people judge you by your appearance, right? Don't judge a book by its cover. But I didn't make the rules, you know. And it is true that if you don't take it that seriously, and if you wear unprofessional clothes, people will perceive you as less professional. People will perceive you as less premium, even though your content, your expertise might actually be much better than the next guy, but you don't look like it. And especially with offers like ours, who are perceived, the value is a perceived value, right? If I have a phone, I can touch it, I can touch the surface, I can see it. I'm like, okay, this is an iPhone, it's expensive, right? Or a watch. But with offers such as ours, people do take you much more seriously if you present yourself properly, if you wear proper clothes. So you always kind of had it on the inside. You really cared about your audience, you really cared about your clients, but it wasn't being reflected on the outside. And we kind of matched these two things, and all of a sudden things started taking off. People perceived you as much more valuable. You were able to attract more people. You were able to help more people, and therefore you will also be able to get paid more. And that's exactly how marketing at a more basic stage basically works.
Exactly.
So, yeah, Chase, do you have anything else to mention? Anything else you want to put out there for folks that are watching the YouTube?
I just honestly feel like there is nothing more, like there's no greater thing in life, at least what I found at 23 years of age. There's nothing greater to do, to spend your time with, than something that is fulfilling to you, and you can do it at your own time. When
Hmm.
you match those two things up, and you're seeing results, and you're seeing people who you actually care about change, and the greater you get at changing lives, the more money you make, like that's nothing but a win. Like it I've never been in a more fulfilled spot in my life, being able to travel, being able to help the people who I once was fear of, even even speaking to a stranger, even making a phone call would put me in a panic state. So being able to help those people, at the same time, the greater I get at helping these people, the more money I make. There's nothing that fulfills me more. So the last thing I just want to say is, like, I really, really appreciate you and your team, Max. You guys have been amazing the whole time. And yeah, you guys legitimately made my dream come true. That sounds so weird, but it's so true, man. This was always my dream, and it's true now. So it's sick.
Wow, mate, that's really really beautiful to hear. It's a pleasure to be working with you as well. And we're just getting started. In a year from now, we can look back to this interview, and we're like, wow, look where we were a year from now. Look where we are now. So it's a pleasure to be working with you, like I said, and definitely much more epic things to come for you, for your clients, for everybody that you can help. And yeah, thank you very much also for your time. Stay on the line real quick, because if you're watching this right now and you're getting inspired by Chase's story, by his passion, and you also say, hey, I'm very passionate about something, or maybe I don't know yet what it is that I could be doing, you also want to become free, have your own freedom business, be able to travel, be able to work from wherever you want, then go ahead and book your free consultation call right now. There's a link down in the description below that leads you to my page. You can use that page to read a little bit more info on what this all is about. There's an application on there, you click that, and then you can use that to book your free consultation call, where we are going to look at your life, look at your skills. We can see what exactly it is that you could be doing, what would fit best for you, how to implement that, what first steps you need to take in order to also become your own boss. So this is for you if you're a beginner, you've never sold anything, you've never done anything, any marketing, you have no clue about that. We can exactly help you with that. That's also, by the way, the call that Chase used in the beginning to get started with us as well. If you then want to become our client, we can talk about that on the call as well. but at the very least, it's a free consultation that can tell you all the important steps that you need to take in order to build your very first freedom business. So I want to thank you very much for watching. I want to thank you, Chase, for your valuable time, and I'll talk to you soon.